This is an urgent appeal from the Disasters Emergency Committee. Hundreds of thousands of people have fled their homes to escape conflict in Ukraine, leaving jobs, belongings and loved ones behind. They need shelter, food and water. You can help. To donate online, search DEC or text radio to 70150 to give £10. Thank you.
Streaming 24/7, this is Brummie Radio.
Thank you for downloading this Brummie Radio podcast. For more podcasts, visit brummeradio.com.
I'm Dave Massey. I'm joined on the telephone by Paul Hunter, who is part of a play called Would You Bet Against Us, which is produced by Told by an Idiot. Good afternoon, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Dave. Thanks for having me.
That's brilliant. This is thank you so much for taking part in this interview today. Can you tell us how many different hats you're wearing for this production and what those hats are called?
Well, I've written it and I'm in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of co-directed it. There are two other directors, so it's not all me. But I suppose the main hats are writer-performer, yeah.
And what can you tell us about Would You Bet Against Us? What it is about, and what can our audience expect to see from it?
Well, it's on one level, it celebrates the 40th anniversary of the greatest achievement that my football team has ever managed, which was Aston Villa 40 years ago this month, winning the European Cup and becoming one of only 5 English teams to achieve that.
Yes.
So that's one thing that it is. It also is a play about what it means to be an underdog, because Villa were complete underdogs. No one thought they would do it. And it traces my personal story from a council house in Harborne in Birmingham with my mum, a dinner lady, and my dad, an electrician / unemployed. And my at the time, a rather forlorn hopes of a life in show business. So the two stories run together. In terms of what people can expect, we've done 3 shows so far. I think they can expect to laugh a lot. And I think they can also expect to be moved by the relationship which is central in the story, which is between me and my dad. But it's a really, really entertaining night at the theatre, first and foremost.
If anyone's seen any of the press photos for your costume that you're wearing, you've got a Villa top on. Yeah. And then underneath that, you're wearing what I more imagine that someone from the RSC might wear.
Yes, that is correct. I'm wearing a replica of the Villa shirt they wore in the final in Rotterdam in '82, and I'm wearing a pair of red Elizabethan hose to signal my theatre ambition when I was a young teenager. Yeah,
fantastic. And being working class and coming from Birmingham as well, which is something that I share in that. How did you feel about when you were wanting to go into arts and wanting to go into culture in this way, with the backgrounds that you're coming from?
Well, I think that is part of the show, really. I think there was no context for it in my family, like I said. Apart from one cousin who still has a dance school here in Birmingham called the Richard Rose School of Dance. But, you know, we went to the theatre maybe once a year, if that, to the pantomime.
Yeah.
And then, like lots of people, it was an inspirational teacher who kind of got me inspired because I always liked English. And then I did a school play. And of course, initially you think, well, there's no way on earth that can be for me. How can I possibly do that? And then I suppose you kind of start to believe it. But I didn't tell anyone. I kept it for a while quite secret, you know. And I was always into sport, hence the football stuff. So I suppose in some ways you feel a bit of an outsider, really, when I was first going, because I didn't have any context for it. Do you know what I mean? And,
yes.
And of course, there's been some brilliant actors who have come from a working class background, you know, over the years, of course. But for yourself, it feels a bit unreal until you can finally get there and happen. So it felt like a sometimes strange and odd journey, but I'm very proud of coming from Birmingham and being a Brummie, and even though I live in London now, you know, these are my roots and where I'm from. So I was very keen to make a show that celebrated Birmingham in some ways as well. Yeah. This
production is on for almost 2 weeks at the Rep, and it's described as an original comedy. How long ago did you first get the idea that you would do a comedy like this, and also how long ago did you start to write it?
The idea came, I was lucky enough to be filming something during lockdown, a film in Sicily, and I was sitting there like you do often when you're filming, not waiting around to film.
Yes.
And I was talking to our producer via email about ideas, and I realised as a Villa fan, I still go now with my 15-year-old daughter, that this year would mark the 40th anniversary. And I thought, maybe there's a show in that somewhere. I didn't quite know what it was, but somewhere. And then I know the director, Sean at the Rep, is also a Villa fan, and he immediately was interested when I mentioned it. So over those 2 years, we've kind of I spent a period of times writing. We've also spent 2 periods in research and development when we were in the room with actors and designers to try and figure it all out. Initially, the idea was going to be a very big show, and then it became something more personal. But of course, it's not just me. I've got 3 fantastic co-stars. So I would say on and off for 2 years, and then an intensive writing period of a few weeks, and then followed straight by a intensive rehearsal of 5 weeks.
Wow.
And now we're here at the Rep. But I should say we're not just playing the Rep. We're doing 2.5 weeks here, and then we'll be doing some community shows as well. But the moment, what we're focusing on is getting audiences in here, and they're loving it at the moment.
Brilliant. I'm very excited to be coming down to see this tonight as we do the recording, and as we play this out, I'll have seen this the night before. It's a wonderful opportunity to find another piece of Birmingham's history and to retell that story to a different generation as well. I think that's a fantastic opportunity for coming along. I saw a small excerpt of Would You Bet Against Us on Instagram Live, on Instagram Stories. But I think it must have been about a week ago now.
Yeah, we shared some rehearsal footage, yeah.
How does it feel to share the content digitally like that and have people see a short preview like that?
I think it's really important to share material beforehand. I think sometimes theatre can be a little bit mysterious and like to keep things under wraps, like to the mystique. But I think it's a really good way of getting audiences interested. So we were very happy to stream some rehearsals, and people seem to really enjoy it. And it gives people a flavour of it. Do you know what I mean? It's and lets people in. The great thing about this show is we've got some people coming who maybe are Villa fans who never go to the theatre. So for us, it's wonderful to play that here, where people, maybe that's not their first choice of venue, What a wonderful opportunity as well. Paul, thank you so much for chatting to us about this. Not at all. You can see Would You Bet Against Us, Told by an Idiot, until the 4th of June at Birmingham Repertory Theatre. It's at the door. You can check out birmingham-rep.co.uk and check out what's on there. Or you can check out toldbyanidiot.org as well. Paul, thank you so much. Not at all. I hope you enjoyed tonight. All the best. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this Brummie Radio podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on your podcast app.